Okay, here we go. Hello guys, this is the Angry Albino, and today we'll be doing something a little new. I mean, a little old, a little new, a little bit of everything, you know? We've got our existing little system here. A lot of Unity projects, right? Adding on just one more. We like to implement things in a separate project before bringing them together, just because otherwise, too much stuff gets in one spot and it gets a little confusing, you know? So, what we have here is a new Unity project. This will be for storing some combat-related things. So let's have some fun, shall we? What I'm gonna do, and sorry, what I'm doing right now is just creating a small folder structure, right? And then when I go back into Unity, we'll have everything update. Alright, now. Nope, not missing anything at all. Excellent, we should be good. Just making sure that, you know, things like YouTube and that, have all the settings they need to on the video. Alright, let's go. Oh yes, and Visual Studio. Visual Studio is very important. Alright, so there's a number of things we should set up in the scene, but first, if I could just get the folder. There we go, we gotta create a few things. Let's see, I think what I'll do is, we're definitely gonna need scripts. We're gonna need, oh no, how about I just don't show that dialogue? There we are, and we're just gonna make a few copies of this folder so we have a few. We're gonna have a geometry file, so prefabs. Inside prefabs, we will have geometry. There we are, and then we will have a materials folder in there as well. And I suppose the scenes folder. Should be good. We'll go back to Unity now. There we go. Now we're gonna need a few scripts as well. I'm gonna create just one of them so we can generate the C# project, then everything past that can be done in Visual Studio. So, we're going to need some sort of, let's call it a battle controller. Alright, and then if I open this file, hopefully we have our Visual Studio project generated for us. There we are. Excellent, excellent. Now there's a little bit of doubling, that's fine. We can deal with that once it loads a solution on the side here. There we are. So this is just a little plugin I have. The regular Solution Explorer is still here, of course, but using the Unity tools for Visual Studio, you can have a lot less clutter. Just all of that crap that would normally be outside of it, you don't have to worry about. So one thing, we're not namespaced, so let's namespace combat system, I believe. Whoops, combat system. And make sure we're ready. I think that's what it's called. Let me check Solution Explorer. Yeah, combat system. Singular. Excellent, excellent. Now, I like to have my usings a little sorted. This will be a mono behavior. We need to load something I use all the time in my projects, which is the singleton. So let's import that asset. And we will find one of these in our utilities section, as well as the usage in globals. So I'm just gonna import singleton itself. There we are. And yes, we will reload the project, that doesn't matter. Now we have our singleton. Now we're not going to use it just yet. Alright, but we did need that. Whoops. There we are. Just click to open the file. I don't like the way that, you know, Unity lists all of these, so I'm going to make them a little different. When a battle starts, that's fine. When it awakes, that's when we will do our construction sort of stuff, which means we are going to need a list of combatants, so a public list of character, perhaps, which we are going to call the participants. There we go. And then you don't have to worry about that. All of our stuff is here. Character will be a local import, so we're going to just create one new C# script. Right? I like that. I like that. Immediate, so call this character. Just, again, character. I could have refactored that, but it doesn't matter. One thing, namespace, combat system. Good to get into the habit of namespacing everything. And again, private. We will need one of these awake. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. Just so we have private void fixed update. Some sort of... There we go. Boilerplate, you know, something we can copy around. So paste, and then normally I use generic as well, so save that. That's going to be our boilerplate file. We're going to copy paste that all around when we need to. Just make sure everything's working. Excellent, excellent. It looks like we're online and live coding as well. Shame that it went sort of full screen on me. Come on now, there's got to be a way to fix that. Do. I swear I changed that. Really. That should be economy. Should be battle combat system Unity. There we go. I was like, come on, come on. I'm pretty sure I changed that that title and everything. There we are. Make sure everyone's on the same page, which we are. Music's going on. Alright, character. These are our battle participants, alright. Then we will have a, say we have a sort of timer, right? So we're gonna have a public float time start and a public float time last round. There we are. Then we again have some things we want to copy from our character class over here. So we're going to take the update and the fixed update, the start and the awake. Just because we're going to be using that everywhere. When the battle is created, time start will equal the time since level load. There we go. And the time last round will be time start, which we can just do like this. Assigning them all. Alright. When the battle starts. I know that's on awake and not start, but these are called at the same time for me, and that's where I do my initialization. Participants must be assigned first, otherwise we'll say the battle has ended, so we will need a battle status too. Are we going to make this a mono behavior? You know, for now, yes. Eventually though, no. It will be more, I wouldn't say more concrete, probably less after that. Can we make folders inside here? No, you cannot create folders in there, so I gotta create them here. There we go. That's easy enough. So we're gonna add a few properties to the character, which is a public int health. We're also going to add some basic attributes. So these are normally strength. There we go, dexterity. Intelligence. Oops. Constitution. Wisdom. and charisma. These are the and luck. Pretty standard stats. Nothing too special about them there. Have a public int level, which thus has a public int experience. These are all pretty straightforward things here, right? We can set some defaults. Say the defaults for these are all 8s. So we'll just copy, paste, paste, paste. There we go, 8. We will say con is 10. Wisdom is 10. Luck is 10. There we go. Those are going to be our starting stats. Alright. So default health. We're going to need to make this a larger number. Let's go with 30. People like numbers, not that are huge, but I don't know. 20. There we go. Then we can at least take some hits, right? So this is a character, not necessarily a player. So pretty straightforward. Public int, also birth time. These should be floats. And a public float death time. There we go. This one's normally pretty straightforward, so if health less than or equal to 0, then return. If death time is 0, then that means we just died. Alright, so die. Then we have those functions down here. So we gotta organize some of this. This character file's getting a little big. Let's just define some regions, one of them called Unity. Close that up. When our character dies, death time gets set to the current time. So again, since level load. And the character will stop doing actions. That's why we're saying here that if the health is less than or equal to 0, which we can even simplify by having a public bool alive, and we say that this is health greater than 0. Alright. Right. We need to add the C#6 support to this language. Pretty straightforward. I normally have a package for that. Let's see where I put that. I think, where did I put it? I don't know where I put it. So you know what? Let's just copy paste. We can import entire folders from somewhere else, right? Let's go to Solution Explorer. There we go. And let's start copying a few things over from one of the other projects. I think I'm going to go to Economy Sim 2, copy C#60 support into the main folder. There we go. And then the assets folder also has a few things to copy. So we're looking at having from the packages folder, C#60 support and Unity VS. And same thing here, I will make a folder called packages. Then you do have to do re-import all, so when we load in, make sure to go to the asset menu and do an import all. Oh, one more thing. We are missing plugins. Now remember, let's go back. EcoSim 2, and in the assets folder, there are a series of plugins. Right, okay, I thought there were some for this, but apparently not. Okay, I guess not. Let's just do the import all. So re-import all, yes. It will take just a moment while Unity sort of relaunches. And then, you know, then everything will work. We'll be able to use C# 60 expressions, which is like these short property setters that you're seeing here. Short. There we go. Hello, Unity. No errors, I take it? Alright, Visual Studio will have to reload to see the new language version. Excellent. Now we're able to have our short form health. Ooh. I heard a pop. I'm sorry, that was delayed. I heard a pop a while ago. Hello, Lemon Treat W. Currently, I was adding C# 6 support to the project, to the Unity project, so that I could put a combat system together without having to write too much. It allows, well, C# version 6 adds a lot of features, like null propagation, the ability to test for value in a single line, and these short property setters. This is a get set, where I'm just saying that health is greater than 0 is the value of alive. And it will try that each time, so I don't have to maintain it. That's a very silly example right there, but there are a lot better examples. It's useful, alright? We'll get to its exact use shortly. This is a new project. So, this is the character, this is the battle sim. Or battle controller, very simple, right? We're gonna need multiple characters, and we're gonna need an idea of actions. So we're going to have the action that they want to take. So, public, say, next action? What would you call it? Planned action, perhaps? And this is the... let's call it an action. We're not importing systems, so we don't have to worry too much. We'll call it planned action. Now, this is going to give us a little error. Don't worry about it, because we can generate it. We want to make a new, in this case, probably... what would you call action a struct? Or... no, I'll call it a class. There we go. And that should get its own file as well. Where'd it go? Nope, didn't. That's unfortunate. We'll do that manually then. Go up here, create, action. And you can just... normally you can refactor the name, but in this case I have to rename it. There we go. So action. Again, I don't really like the way they've done it. So we're just going to copy over from another file. This is not going to be a mono behavior this time around, so I guess we don't need any of that. There we go. We did need the namespace though. And an action. Well, when you start... so I suppose the default action is... null. There's no action. So what I can say is that... let's open up Unity. We have to create a few objects, because we're just gonna have to test this at this point. First, the sun is yellow. I don't like that. Our main camera... you know, okay, that's fine for now. I'm gonna change a few of the properties. Let's go and open up lighting. Which you can do from the window menu. There it is. And we're going to change... wait, where is my lighting menu? Apparently it's already open. Am I missing something for C# 60? Oh no, here we go. The lighting tab opened on the other monitor. Damn it. Damn it, Unity, why you gotta do that to me? Alright, so we're gonna assign the sun. Alright. We're going to turn down the ambient intensity so that we have light coming entirely from the sun and not just from magic. We'll go back to the scene. We are going to need some ground, so let's just create our plane. There we go. Let's also create some objects for this plane, so I suppose I'll create a sphere. There we go. Let's move that up. I like using the transform manually, but of course, you know, it's up to you. Move that to the right. It's an interesting angle and all, but I'm more interested in what the camera's seeing. Ah, the camera's seeing trash. Alright, let's click on the camera and start moving it around. The nice part about looking at the camera like this, you know, manually, through the camera, is that you can do whatever you want. -5, -10, or 10 even. Ah, you're supposed to force Z though. Alright, you know, I just gotta put some angle on this. There we go. So 30, what was it, like 25? There we go. -10. Alright, and then we can change the field of view a little. No, that's not quite what I was looking for. Is it that I need to be higher up and closer? Little. 45. 8. There we go. That's gonna work. Take the sphere out of the plane. Make it 3 by 3, why not, right? Again with this camera. There's gotta be... There we go. Let's move the sphere down. Oh yes, sphere also needs a character attached to it. So the good thing about the way I've done all of the properties just as public, as much as I don't like that, is that at least they're visible in the editor. So let's say there's at least, I don't know, maybe 3 enemies? So I'm going to put the enemies on the right, space them out a little. Maybe -4 and 4. There we go. Move the cameras, I mean whatever, right? There we go, that'll work. Because I'll use the bottom bit for perhaps some UI or something for now, right? There'll be a way to select a target, maybe even first person, but at the moment it doesn't have to be great. What I do want to do, change, is probably assign a material to any of this. So let's assign one of ground material. There we go, we will call this ground. And for now, make it a green. Whoa, that's not a great green. Alright, that might be a little better. I said might, okay. It can't be less saturated, but it also can't be darker. For now, we'll just make it a dark color, whatever. The enemies, you should always use prefabs, so let's make one of these a prefab. And then say that the other ones here are also prefabs. There we go, now we've placed all 3 enemies out again. We can now change a prefab altogether, so one material for the enemy. Let's duplicate, call this one enemy. So duplicate, you know, just Control D. Pretty simple. There we go. Pick an enemy, make it semi-reflective. There we are. That's a little dark, but at least now we can change this for all of them, right? Those are our enemies. And then, then we're gonna need something for us. So I suppose for now, we can be a capsule. Let's say, where am I gonna move this? It goes 2 up in the air. Whoa, whoops. Goes 8, -8. There we go. This is our player, so we will have to give the player something as well, and a character. We call this prefab player, and it will need a material as such. And we'll just give it a nice light blue for now. There we go. Oh, whoops. There we are. I was like, you can drag them in if you're using the right view. There we are. So the player will now be able to designate and plan actions against these people, and hopefully they will as well. I don't think this formation is fair, though. This isn't the formation that we would be battling in. So, let me show you what's really going on. This is what you might expect. 4. 4. And -4. And then perhaps this person might be here. At 0. This is more the battle I'm expecting. And as these players are on different teams, they should fight like that too. So let's just move the sun out of the way. I always like to have it above the landscape, right? There we are. We can move our camera to be looking at the side if we want. Should save the scene. Crashing is a thing in Unity, gotta remember. So this will be battle test. And for now, that means the battle controller is going to be as part of the player. Just for now. And the participants, well, we're gonna hard code those as well. Remember, this won't be an issue in the future, but for now, right? We just want to see it work. There we are. Now, player. We can do a few gizmos with this, actually. So, battle controller. And we'll just save action. Should have something to draw gizmos. So we'll do this here. Private void on draw gizmos. Alright. And what we're gonna say is that gizmo's color is yellow. Alright. And then for each player, so we'll say for each P in participants. Whoops. Not what I wanted. For each PR in participants. Gizmos, draw a wire cube. There we go. At the p.transform.position. Given vector 3.1 divided by 3. It should draw a small box. Oh, whoops. Plus vector 3.up. Should draw a small box above each of the participants. There we go. Now, let's see. What do we want this to do? Well, let's draw it size 1. And instead of a wire cube, let's draw a mesh, why not? Draw... I wish I had a mesh to work with already. Ah, there it is. Draw a cube. Draw it at the position, not with up included, at 1. And this should draw a box at their base now. Yellow box. Nope. Minus vector 3.1. In the case of the player, I might have to offset it more. What? That's incredible. The center. P.dot transform position. Alright, let's just have a look at this. That was interesting. There we go. Toss. Toss minus equals 1. Really, it should be relative to the size of the object, but yep, definitely gonna have to be relative. So the way we can do that is transform, and we can say the local scale, maybe even the lossy scale. Let's see. If that works, that works. Yeah, okay. Lossy scale. Because the local scale is just going to be 1, I guess. No? I mean, that is 1. And they are 0.5. It's the scale of a capsule is taller. So I can't do that. I guess I'll just say that the transform, the position Y is just going to be 0 for now. Alright, we'll deal with the rest of that after. Wow. A lot lower than that. At least the box needs to be smaller if I'm going to do that. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is pull each of these things up a little. So the 4 enemies and the player. Sorry, 3 enemies. There we go, float them a little. Float the player a little. Now we can see their boxes. You might wonder why we did that. It's so that we can visualize the battle. Because this is part of Battle Controller. So we're gonna have this be a list. Alright. And we're going to have the idea of the current, right? Public character, current actor, alright? And then we'll say in update that if current actor dot planned action, no. If the time last round is greater than time since there we go, plus 6F. So we're saying that if 6 seconds has passed, then the current actor is participants next actor index. There we go. And next actor index is just going to be an integer, which by default equals 0. That's fine. And then right here, I'm gonna say that when the next person gets their action, then we increment it. And here we check that it's not greater than the number of participants. There we go. Hello. Hey Dabzone, how's it going? Awake. Awake is called by Unity when the mono behavior, this type of script, is first created just before the first frame, whereas start is called on the first frame? Yeah. That's my understanding. You put your initialization stuff in Awake, and start is where you put where you want it to actually start doing things. Hey, Lemon Street, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that. So this is the battle controller. Then we were going to say as well that it's only yellow, right? If they're not the current participant. So, if P is the current actor, and we can shorthand this even to say that if P is current actor, the color is green, otherwise the color is yellow. There we go. That's a tenery. Now if we press play, maybe one of them will go green. No? No green? Okay, that's fine. So, let's go look at our update and see what happened. Both of these things are getting set. Time last round would never be greater than this, though. Let's look for less than. You can see it, QWQ. Here we go. Hey, look at that! It is rapidly changing between all four of them, actually. So that was an interesting result. So what we're really looking for is that this number, which is like a number like 30 seconds, right? Is not... It's less than... Say 30 plus 6 is less than now. Because then that will say 30, 36. Then we do need to set the time last round as well to be the time since level load. There we go. Now every 6 seconds we should have the turn change. So, the first turn, let's see. There we go. First turn is yours. 6 seconds later, one of the AI should act. The top AI. 6 seconds later, the next AI will begin his turn, and so on. This is just a simple, real-time turn sorting. The idea is if you don't pick an action, your turn gets skipped. Sucks to be you. But that's fine. So let's go to character. Alright? And we'll say that every time that the planned action... So right here, I'll actually say that at the end of the turn, so this is, a turn has elapsed, commit the actions of this turn, and then pick the next actor in battle. Alright. So, the actions of this turn, the next actor, there we go. Ooh, yes, we do need to remove the current actor's actions, so planned action is null. There we go. Because we're eating their actions, so action planned equals current actor dot planned action. And then right here, we will do something with that action. To do. There we go. Oh yes, my resharper expired, so let me change out Visual Studio plugins. Here we go. Extensions and updates. Productivity power tools is enabled. Resharper you cannot install from here. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Let's have a look around. Which other plugin was I using at one point? Supercharger. There we go. Let's enable that and restart Visual Studio. And I'll take this moment as well to go to Control Panel and remove ReSharper. It's a great plugin. It's just, well, it's a little expensive, that's all. To highlight some of your things, like I noticed that the to-do line was not highlighted even though it should have been. There we go. That's more what I'm used to. Alright, let me just remove this plugin so that it's not slowing down Visual Studio while it complains that I haven't bought it. Uninstall. Real shame, too. Hey, whoa! Lemon Treat W's message was not in English, but it did tell me. So let's see. Just going through. Gotta see what there is I can uninstall. That's it, that's it. Alright, open Visual Studio up again. There we go. And here we are. We're back into Visual Studio. Do something with the player action. Perhaps even a default action. What I am gonna add is something I normally have in all of my projects called... Not even all of my projects, it was just in one other of the projects. It was the activity log. Wow, do not show that again. So I'm gonna import the activity log from one of the other packages. Here we are. It was an asset. Where did I put it? There it is, activity log, which requires a log entry. There we go. Let's see what they need. There are some errors associated with them. I don't have to worry so much though. Like right there. This is time since level load. There we go. I was using some multi-threaded time before, hence that little error you would expect. The time scale, the turn, none of that information is needed. There are not going to be any counters, so we don't have to worry about that. It's just going to be the lines. So we'll scroll up. We'll see that, you know, has a little bit extra, a little more than we're going to use. I think there were a few toggles here that I'm not going to have to use either. Yep, right there. Toggle message and message totals. We don't care about them here. Yep, so we don't need anything in awake. And then again here, the toggles, don't need those. Update remains the same. Toggle is a method we don't need. Append stays as is, you know, nothing wrong with append. Update's pretty good. If the entry is null, then we continue. If there's anything, nothing else. Good, good, good. Here we are. Now let's, how many other bugs do we have? Some in the log file? Yes, log entry references globals a few times. So the message type, we're not going to use here. And the time, again, time since level start. Oh. Do we use message type? I mean, we'll see, right? Yes, we do use message type. Okay. You know, I think that's okay. Just gonna leave it be. Gonna remove all instances of message type and make this nice and simple. We're simplifying everything. We don't want to have a lot of code everywhere. Gets hard to manage, you know? There we go. And how many other places do we have this mentioned? Looks like it's just in one more place. There we go. Where the type was previously set. It's now not. If we go back, we are out of errors. Excellent. So now, when it goes through, again, it should highlight the player first, and then the other. Oh, nope. An error. What do we get? It's interesting. Action planned is current action planned action. And apparently you can't do that if this is null. So that's fair. We're gonna say that if the action is null, alright, then it's gonna be a new action. So we can do like this and say new action. Why is that? No, I don't. There we go. New action. Alright, and the new action is assumed that you skipped your turn, you idled, you did something like that. In the future, we'll have more intelligent action choosing. No good? Okay. Right, current actor could be null. So, let's have a thing in start, where the current actor equals participants 0. And of course then, we have to increment the next actor index and everything. There we are. It's your move. And a few seconds later, it's an enemy's move. That should do. Now we just need... Well... I guess we need to draw some things for each of the players. So in character, I'm gonna have a little section of gizmos that draws information. So at first the color would be green. And I will draw below the player. What can I draw? A line? Yes. I'll draw it from our position to our position plus right. It can be assumed that this is a health bar. It will take a moment though, let's see. I don't know if I've drawn it in the right direction. Yes, looks like we have. Alright, so again here, vector 3 pos is this plus half right plus up. There we go, pos. And the bar will be right. And then we will multiply this by our health out of total health. I don't like that position up. Let's just hard set the up. Maybe 1.5, maybe even 2. Depends on our player. Maybe even 2.5. Wow. Alright, 3. Jeez, player, what are you doing to me, huh? Alright, there we go. Now we look in the game, we get these very simple little health lines, right? Now, you can thicken them if you want to. But again, this is not a great way to do this. You should be using like GUI textures, canvas, anything else. So I'll just put a hack, use canvas, GUI texture, literally anything else. There we go. What do we get? Too much. You get the idea. Makes it look thick. There you go. Just put a little VEDM, so again it multiplies before adding. Good enough. 5 lines drawn together. Now we just need to have their length. So like this. Length. And the length will be a factor of the health. So I'll say vector3 length is right times health divided by 10. Because that's the default health. 20, sorry, whoops. So how does that work exactly? Well, 19 divided by 20 is 0.95. So as your health decreases, so too with the health bar. So now we can assume that the character's target next target. There we go. And throughout each of these, the battle controller, for now, will say that the next target is the closest character that's not on the same team as us, so we'll have a team identifier. This is less hack. This is just attack the player. Just say public int team identifier equals 1. Now the idea is that we make the player 0. And this next target, this is where things can get a little less public. We can make this protected. And something that's protected will not appear in the Unity debugger or the inspector, right? Because this doesn't need to be set. Same thing with the planned action, but we will be testing with that, so anything that you don't want people to set, there we go, you should make protected or worse. It's pretty straightforward. Logic anywhere else as well. So now we'll say in update that if next target is null, alright, so pick a new target if we don't have one. And we'll say that pick new target in view. target in view. There we go. And this will be a function down here, private void, pick new target in view. This does exactly what it says. Checks game checks for character in front of us that we can see. So what we're gonna do is get a list of check sphere, or even overlap sphere. What this does is just gets a list of all of the things around us. Alright. And then from this list, we're going to have to sort exactly which ones we can see and interact with. Well, Lemon Street, I will see you later, and I do appreciate you coming around. And hey, J Tryon, Kasvik, and Timmy Connect, welcome to the chat. So what we're gonna do here is sort through this list and say that for each call, see in call, we're only interested in the ones we can see. So, I mean, that's pretty expensive, honestly, to tell what we can see. So, why don't we instead just check that they are in front of us? So first, check that they are in front of us. And this is the dot product, so dot of vector 3, right? LBS and the left-hand side and the right-hand side. I believe it is c.transform.position and vector3.forward, but I could be wrong. Let me check the documentation on vector3 dot, because the documentation itself has an example for checking behind you. Right, it is the other way around. The left-hand side is forward, and the right-hand side is the target. And if it's greater than 0, it's in front of us. There we go. We will check that they are in front of us, and if they are already in position. We will say that they are our targets. So next, actually, we're also only care about the ones that are not null. So let's see. If let's say the character C character is C dot get component character, and if the character is not null, there we go, then we check that they are in front of us. And in this case only will we add that character as our next target. Return. We have found a valid target. Because right now we're not choosing anything specifically, we're just picking the first target we can see, alright? And then I'm gonna have each character draw a line towards our target. Draw something like a health bar. And the color is red. And the way this works is that gizmos draw a line from us to our target. There we go. The one thing that we're gonna say is that we need a target. So if next target is not null, then run this code. Now if we go over to Unity, hey Maghrib, welcome back. Hi. Wow, there's no delay at all. I just said hello. Alright, so let's go into the game and see that our little target sightlines work. Oh, look at that. That's wonderful. So there's the player, and then there's each of the enemies here. And that's drawing a line from the enemy to the player. That's the only enemy looking... I don't know if that's the player looking at the enemy. I'm gonna have to have some indication to forward on these. So you know what? We might have to open Blender. I'm working on a combat system. Little bit of a combat system for a game, you know? It looks like we're gonna have to go into Blender and make something, because there's no way to tell the forward with these things, right? So here's Blender, right? We have our cube. What I'm gonna make is, I suppose for the enemies, we will still have a sphere, but we're gonna make it a little more aggressive. So remember, your scale is twice that of Unity. Then I'm gonna smooth it, select all the vertexes, and have it randomize a little. Whoops. There we go. That looks angrier. Although it's impossible in a few of the areas, so let's simplify it a little. Sorry, it said I was doing a Discord bot, but that was an old notification there in the top right. Hey, welcome back. Alright, so let's see. We've randomized a little too much, so let's do smooth one more time. Okay, that looks like something. Let's apply a little bit of model, a little bit of texture to it, shall we? So we're gonna call this, whoops, enemy, right? And the enemy is red. So we know it's red. Have to make it look like something. Also, let's just fix these. That point up here is absolutely atrocious. There we go. This one right here, that's terrible. So let's just fix that. Alright, there is a way. You have to like select just that point and these. And then you can press W and say bridge edge loop. Wait, I can't? Oh boy. Right, because that's one connected in the middle. Alright, alright. I'm sure I can find a way to connect these. It's just selecting that middle point that's gonna be hard. Oh, but I'm gonna have to make my own quads? Ooh. Oh boy. Alright, maybe randomize was not a great idea. Well, we can always undo. It's a nice thing about Blender. It does have a long undo history. There we are. We can smooth this until it's, what? There we go. I was gonna say, we can smooth this until it looks a little more... Yeah. Because randomize did not do what I was hoping for. Oh yes, of course. And then these top and bottom do become a problem with a sphere. You have to select the ring. There we go, the ring. Oops. Ring and ring. Ah, I keep doing that. There we go. And press E to extrude them. Press Shift Z to say that you want to move them. Oh, whoops. E. Shift Z. 0.5. What the hell? Oh, yes, yes, yes. I see what happened. I've made a few of them. Not what I wanted. Let's remove duplicates. There we go. So, what I wanted to do was select the edge, and then also select the bottom edge. There we go. And then press E once, and then scale them and everything but the Z to be a little closer together, but not fully closed. There we go. Because that's not valid to unwrap that way. Alright, now we just need to select one area, like this, and mark it as our seam. So, Control E, mark seam. Alright, now, real things aren't specular. So, 0.85, and then we said that really low specularity. Really low specularity. There we go. Then we're going to go into cycles. Going to start using nodes. And this is what you can make stuff look really nice. I guess we don't need to though, do we? Nah, we don't. Because we're just going to be using it in Unity, right? The thing that we did need to identify was forward, though, so let's see. Normally Z forward, so in this case it's X positive? Yeah, so this will be the forward. Along our seam. Huh. Alright. Well, let's make the other side forward then. If this is our forward, then let's select these pieces, move them out and up. Not like that. Just introduce an object right here instead. Introduce cone. Not quite what I wanted. There we go. Introduce cone. Which direction do I need to rotate it? Whoops. There we go. That is the cone. We've introduced a cone. It's apparently not in the middle. Oh boy. There we go. Now it's in the middle. I was like, what the hell? We just needed some idea of forward. Didn't need to be great. This is a character. And then, as per the new way that I'm exporting stuff, I need to put it inside an empty. So make a new empty, and it needs to be a cube empty. Whoops. Cursor to center. Selection to cursor. There we are. And then we will put this under this, which is Control P object. Yep. Then the object can be renamed to character. Because then you can have this positioned wherever you want. Don't change a thing? I mean, thanks? Alright, so remember, if I press F2, it will export the object. I have a script in Blender to do that. Now let's go see if that script even works. Alright, what am I looking for? Geometry. I thought I was exporting stuff to this folder, but apparently not. So where might I have been doing that? Well, I could look at the source code for the script. Could I though? No, I couldn't. Interesting. So I'm gonna have to find that. It exports a DAE file. That's the thing. And I don't actually think I have those set to go anywhere. Oh no, there we go. Blender exports. God damn, of course I'm gonna put it in somewhere that makes sense and then not find it later because it makes sense. There we go, geometry. Now, you might ask why I'm doing it that way. I prefer it. I'll show you why in Unity, why I prefer it. There we go. That is if I could find Unity. Now, the reason I like it is because if I change out the meshes for these enemies... there we go, which is the mesh filter, and I should do it in the prefab. For the one called character mesh. There we go. Now they have a forward. They're also a little shiny still. Let's fix that. There we are. We're not supposed to be shiny. So, do need to have them face the thing that is their target. So let's do that. We'll say in fixed update, if next target is not null, turn to face our target if we have one. So let's see. Hey, welcome to the chat. It's support again, and fintech. So we're looking for... Not rotate towards, but an angle. Probably look rotation. Yep. So what we're gonna do is say that our rotation, the rotation we're looking for, is quaternion.lerp, and we're gonna go from our current rotation, and the target will be quaternion.look rotation of next target transform position. The speed at which we're going to do it is the time.fixed delta time. There we go. Whoops. It's not rotate, it's rotation. I mean, it is rotate, but it's that I'm rotating to a specific rotation. Else... look for target. Transform dot rotation equals... I don't know, let's see. We'll say that we'll rotate randomly. Euler angles. We will rotate... I don't know. Just say 1. Let's see what happens. Probably gonna be too much, but hey. Let's see what happens. No spinning characters or anything? Interesting, interesting. So, why would that be? Let's try 45 and see just if they weren't rotating. They could be rotating wrong. They're probably rotating along the wrong axis. No, they're just not rotating at all. So, this is the character script. Ah, whoops. If not alive, return. Ha 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 ha. Okay, try that again. Yep, now they're rotating along the wrong axes. That's what I was looking for. So 0, say 1F in the Y, and hopefully now they'll rotate correctly. Although I think it's in the Z. No? Y? Okay. One of them doesn't have a target, or already has a target. I'm not sure which. Because if I make him 90 degrees rotated, then he's staring at... Ooh, uh-oh. So the issue is that forward is not forward. This kind of thing happened again. So let's go look into Blender, because apparently the forward is left. So, opening Blender. Opening our last character, right? We need to go and edit this. Select inside, whoops, the whole ring. There we are. And we want to move it in such a way there we go. That we are out of the correct side. Now we will export this again. Whoa! That's not what I wanted. Let's rotate. Well, I mean... I don't know what happened. Well, I do. I used free rotation. Damn it. RY minus 5. RY minus 5. There we go. RZ minus RZ 0.15. There we go. That's as close to forward again as I'm gonna get it for a while. So we're gonna save, again press F2 to export, and we're gonna move the file over. So remembering the DAE files go into character exports now. Once we go into Unity, everyone should be facing the correct direction. Yes, 0 is down, and everyone else is looking for a target. They're just spinning around, which is fine. It is what we had them do. If they had a target, they were to draw a line. So, from the transform rotation, that's fine, that's fine. Where's the bit that picks our target? Well, that's right here, and we said that it would draw a red line from above us to above us. That's fine. And find new target is called by update when our target is null. So the only thing I could see is if find new target is not looking in a large enough area. We should be able to target the blue automatically. Okay, sort of. Let's see. If it's correct, if we have a target, our next target transform position. Don't tell me that I just switched the forward for no reason. I don't know, let's see. What happens if I ask the object to move forward? Direction vector 3 dot forward. Which direction is forward? Okay. Forgot, of course, fixed delta time. So it seems that everyone is free rotating. Interesting. That's a really neat effect. Everyone's rotating around the wrong axes now. That is incredible. Alright, so just prevent that for a moment. I only want to see them move forward. Forward starts off as up. That's interesting. So, some things were facing the correct direction, other things were not. Good to know. So it's on the wrong side now entirely. For some reason, negative Y is forward. But you know what? Whatever. So I'm gonna RX 180. And then I'm gonna move it in the Y. 0.8. There we go. And then again. Save. This is just in Blender. You didn't miss anything. Don't worry. Just literally pasting over the same thing all over again. Da, 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 da. Back into Unity, hopefully. All of the objects are facing the correct direction. Well, now they're facing up. So let's see. Oh yes, yes. Don't have any of the rotation code going, do we? If the next target is not null, rotate towards it. Otherwise, rotate at a constant speed of 1 across Y. Wow. Or are they picking a new target? Debug.log. Name has picked new target p.name. Character.name. And if I put a $sign behind it, there we go. We should be able to get name as part of the mono behavior. If we go to the log, 1, 2, 3, 4 targets were chosen. Looks like everyone picked target enemies, which is interesting. They shouldn't be able to do that. Let's try one more time. Pressing play. Why are they picking just enemies as targets? Let's try 10. It should be that they pick something without their target identifier. Okay? And character.target identifier doesn't equal my character team identifier. There we go. There we go. We won't target something on our team. That's what that should do. So player picked a target enemy. The enemies apparently did not pick a target player. That's really interesting. So something about the player. Well, let's have a look at them. Everyone has colliders. Yeah, collider, 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 collider. I don't know. Let's have a look. We can make the current target public for now, just to see... Well, we know that they're not assigning a target. We just don't know why. Well, let's go. On gizmos selected, we said that we would draw a line from us, or in this case above us, which we'll get rid of, from us to our target. Nothing's resetting our target. It's just that we're only checking for targets in front of us. So what is in front of us? That's the problem. Forward needs to be our forward. Okay. So, vector 3 forward is transform direction from us. Okay? And it should be that if I hit... There we go. Is anyone gonna pick a target? Interesting. They're not picking targets. Alright, let's click on them and see why. Team identifier 1. 1. And player. Player who may have been rotating. Looks like he's facing his target, huh? I suppose we could use the battle's participants. But then... No. A player should not have to consider... No, should not have to consider anything like that. So, what we're doing, we're checking something. The dot product is apparently forward. I'm missing something with vector 3 dot dot. I think I am. Let's have a look. Ooh, sneezing. That's a bit of a brutal one. Alright, so vector 3 normally takes the it takes the direction. Dots takes the direction. Okay, that one seemed like it was looping a little over itself. Whoops. Might have just played the same song twice. We'll fix that. Now, press play and have all of our people face each other. Yes, people acquire targets over time now. The facing up thing is a little weird. But hey, it's that I need to lock their other rotations. So let's click on them. Let's assign all 3 a rigid body. In fact, I did that wrong. Let's remove the rigid body and assign it instead to the prefab. Now we just need to know which rotations to lock. It looks like we're gonna have to lock the X rotation. 90, 180, minus 180. The X and Z? Yeah, okay, X and Z rotations. Weird. Now what happens when I run them? Interesting, they fell. And they're now rolling... Well, they did roll towards their targets at least. I just need to make them roll in a way that makes sense. So let's say that the target in view, I suppose this is part of fixed update. Yes, it is. So instead, we will say that this is a target rotation issue. So we're going to have to take a quaternion target, or vector 3 target as part of, where is it? Look rotation, transform position, right here, so target. This will be a new quaternion.euler. There we are. As defined here. As quaternion.lookRotation.Euler angles. The reason why is because we're only concerned target.z about the y. So if we press play, let's say everyone should rotate until they rotate to their targets. Looks like the results varied a lot. It's not quite right. So the idea of forward still isn't working. Well, we can come back to rotation. Just put a little bit of a to-do there. Like this. Currently, rotation values are a little wonky. They work though. Now, why aren't we seeing our lines? It's part of the gizmos. Was it selected or was it just gizmos? Yeah, it looks like we're only drawing gizmos when our things are selected, so that's interesting again. Either that, or do we have gizmos hidden? No, we have gizmos. Or else we wouldn't be seeing the thing with the ground. And their height isn't changed. It's just like we're not seeing those lines anymore. There's no error in the editor here, so... Draw something like a health bar using... Draw a line to our target. Just move those around a little. Nope. Did not change anything. There we go. Perhaps it's only drawing the gizmos of... On draw gizmos selected. Let's change that. See that we can get something per character, perhaps. Nope. It's just given up on drawing gizmos for this file. Which is interesting, but... I mean, oh well. Position. This isn't correct either. This should be position plus length. There doesn't have to be an up increment, so we can let that be. So let's see. Everything below that line is a little extra. The len is required. The y is 2.5. You know, I think that's fine. The x and z locations should be central to here anyways. Let's reopen Unity and see if it fixes it. Colors have gone a little different. Oh yeah, we're not using HDR, are we? Let's turn that on, which means we need to turn sampling off. There we go, super sampling's gone. Now the only thing we need to change is our color space. Where's the color space setting? I think it was under player. There we go. With linear colors, we just get real colors, not more video game colors. So if I press play, you can actually tell that the red characters are red, the color yellow is yellow, and the blue character is blue. It's an amazing improvement. That's really weird to have this semi-transparent ground. There's no transparency in it, it just is. Why is the ground transparent? None of those options would make it transparent. Perhaps it's just the selection grid? Or that gizmos... I guess gizmos can be seen through everything. Which, hey, that's a useful feature, if anything. Let's have a look at this, what we're looking for. Well, once they've selected a target, they're fine. The rotation can happen mid-round. Or, no it can't. The rotation can only happen when it's their turn. So current actor, here we are. This is the action. So we have an action, the action has a type. Let's click on action. Say it has a public enum type. Therefore, has an type action type. The default type is idle. Action type dot idle. The other actions are attack and defend. It assumes that attack has a target. Defend might even have a target, but the default target will be self. So this needs to be in its own little class. The new class here is action type. There we go. And given that the default action is to idle, I can say that, no, we need a player controller now. So let's take, which of these is small? I guess the smallest thing is the battle controller. And we will add a new class called player. So, whoops, this will have probably a character reference. So let's see, public character, get component character, and then we will leave start, update, etc. up to the controls. Don't have to draw anything on them because character handles that. So if we save and, oh, I see what happened. I ran out of that list. Let's go to my lists. The lists say, let's go to energy, considering the time. Character. I'm gonna say that if you right-click a character, you set that as your target. So, if input dot mouse button down 1, so this is a right-click on another character to target them. If get mouse button 1, there we go, because 0 is left click, 1 is right click, 2 is middle click, etc. And then we'll say that a raycast hit and a ray, so if physics raycast, the main camera, a screen point to ray at the mouse position, and we're going to try and hit a player, so we don't need any distance or anything really. There we go. And we'll simply say that if hit dot game object, nope, transform dot game object character. There we go, like this. We're missing component, an N. Hit unassigned local variable. Right. Out hit. There we go. Now we're gonna say that this is our target. So character.next target equals C. Now, if that's not assignable, inaccessible due to its protection, we can say that it is internal. No? No good? Yeah, no, there we go. It's like, there's gotta be. That makes it accessible to the whole namespace. The player script is only on the player, so let's click on him. And make sure we assign the player script. Character should assign itself, so we can make that private even. There we go. And then if we press play, we should be able to right-click on characters to select them as our target. Now right now we don't know if we are. So we're gonna have to echo something. Let's go to our character and see where it's... I think it's currently logging that here. Yes, it has. You, on the other hand, should be able to do that yourself, like this, to say that name has picked a new target of c.name. There we go. If c doesn't equal null, you must pick something that is a valid target as well. I'm gonna hit play one more time. We right click on each of these things. Excellent. Right, currently it's right click, so let's just fix that down. Dunk. And now we have target selection. Now, we should actually highlight the target. So going back to character, I guess the draw gizmos for characters is hooped. So let's just not do that. Let's get rid of this, because that's not great. Let's leave len to be inline. position is fine. And then the target will be drawn elsewhere. See what happens. Does this draw any gizmo? No. So let's try drawing a gizmo on the player. On draw gizmos. If the character has a target. Then draw a line from us to the target. Right. Null reference exception. Interesting. It's because, of course, we can't get that reference on draw gizmos. So, let's make it public. I mean, if it's on the same thing, then let's just say we only assign it if it's not already there. There we go. Now we can drag it down and press play. And we are successfully drawing a line to our target. Doesn't show the direction of the target, and frankly it doesn't have to. We should draw... I guess the player's target should be more of a... not a line, but a sphere. Wish I could add like a glow or something. That's how a lot of games do it. Let's just draw a sphere on them for now. Yellow sphere. And a red line, whatever. We'll leave the red line there for now. So, press play. Excellent. That's, the red sphere. Forgot to put a color on it. I also forgot to give it... oh no, I did give it a size. I just forgot to give it a color. Yellow. And then we shouldn't draw a box if it's not their turn as far as the battle is concerned. So where is it? Here it is, draw a gizmo. This one doesn't work, so we'll get rid of it. But the one that does work is in battle controller. So if we click on it here, do something with the player's action. No, for P and participants, simply only the current actor. So, color is green. There we are. I know what we can do. We can keep this here and use a wire cube instead. You don't have to have all this large. There we go. Now we have an idea of the target, as well as the current turn order by the box. But why is the box below us? There we go. I'm gonna make that a little cost.y equals 3. Oops, there we are, 3. It's a small square. So that we can see the active turn index. Again, with the way the camera is though, it does really have to be below us. Can we see it if it's a small square like that? No. Let's put it at 0.1. There we go. That puts it just at the surface. Not visible though. Alright, let's try divide by 2. that a little more visible? They're larger squares. I see. The height you give it is based on what it is. Its dimensions. So now they go green. And now when I right click something, I change my target. Respectively. I think my thing also turns to look at it. Can't tell though, so let's change the model. Alright, so as a blue character mesh, I should be able to rotate towards my targets. Awesome, target rotation works perfectly. So, I guess we don't have an issue with rotation. It's just the AI that can't rotate successfully. So let's look at the place that's not doing that. Is that update? Yes. Update for character. Fixed update. It says that the rotation is the look rotation. How does this work? We are lerping from our rotation to a target rotation. Do I need to transform part of this? Target transform position. Yes, I do need to transform this to forward. There we are. I believe this accepts a quaternion as well. Now if I hit play, the agent's gonna face me as well. No, agents are still spinning. I don't get that. One of them just has a issue facing. The other two are just fine. My rotation doesn't seem to be an issue. I'm able to face whoever I want. Alright, let's move the camera around. This is not a great place. So we can probably rotate it a lot as well. Go like 45 degrees. 5. Say -5 maybe. -5 again. +5. There we are. Three. There we go. And then 60. There we go. Oh no, I copy and paste the component values because otherwise they'd be lost when you restart. We'll extend the ground, so we'll have to look at it. Then slightly change the view. So let's see, 7. That puts us high enough in the air. It has that angle. Angle's alright, that's fine. Some people are close, but I mean, hey, you right click to set your target, right? So that minimum action time is just in there turning. What is with the AIs? It's like the player character one's going fine, but the agents ones are not working at all. Right, they have a rigid body. Let's try removing the rigid body so that they can free rotate. Does this fix their issue? One of them is facing me. What about the other two? No. Looks like it's a little bit delayed. So Maybe if I put them all at 0.75? It's like, it shouldn't be that it's facing past me. Because I'm able to face anything just fine. And now my lines won't draw. What's up with that? Alright. Player script says it draws a line. Is it drawing a sphere either? All the gizmos have given up now. Interesting. Why have all the gizmos given? Alright, so I'm gonna save the scene, close Unity again. Eventually the gizmos really do give up. There we go. And our gizmos are still broken. I now have like 3 things doing gizmos. Is that bad? Well, I know these ones are not going to work while there's no target, so let's see. There we go. Now we get our target again. So I don't get a battle selector gizmo anymore. Let's have a look at battle. See what his gizmos do. For each participant, draw a wire cube. Say the position is 0. The cube you're drawing is half. Is that gonna do it? No. Just not allowed to have more than 1 gizmo apparently. I see why these are considered selected then. So let's see. We got rid of the character gizmo because it doesn't work. And we'll say the player gizmo is only for what is selected. So if we just hit alright, press play, should only get a line around. Well, yeah, only one around the player. Gizmos are a finicky beast. Just leave this one be, it's the only one that works. Alright. Let's go to Battle Controller. And we're going to assume that if the target has... Yeah, it's really a question of if they have a target. There we are. So... new action. We'll open this. Has no constructor. Very straightforward. Public action. Character target. We will assume that if a target is specified, so the default is null. If character is not null, then target is target. By virtue of having a target, our action turns into attacking. There we are. Now if it's run, there we go. See 1, 2, and 3. Apparently the speed is based on the thing I want to look at, which I don't like. I'm sure it can change out with. Slurp. That's the issue, right? This needs to be a slurp. Spherical linear interpolation. Let's give it a moment. Again, the smooth. I like the smooth one. I guess it wouldn't have to be a smooth if it's like is there a lerp on clamp? Yes, there is. Okay. Lerp unclamped should remove the easer. There you go. It's not nearly as bad. This also allows us to do full more ease. Here we are. Made a basic target acquisition for the combat. Just 1, 2, and 3. What can we do? Oh, these two here. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3 to-dos. We also have to put in this in the battle controller, something with the player's actions as well. To-do. Consider a default defensive action. Then as well, we want to consider only having them rotate during their turn. So say as well here to do only apply rotation and translation while my turn. There we go. This is what we've managed to create. A little bit of rotation. We're gonna have to fix that bit of the character, but I mean, whatever, right? So we'll just save the blend file, close out of that. Ooh, why would that? Yeah, Lemon. Thanks for joining me, yeah? Not expect to see you again. Yeah, he said the internet wasn't working. Be a bit difficult, right? Yeah. Alright then. I suppose... Yeah, with the combat system the way it is right now, there's still a few things missing here. We've mentioned most of them as a direct to-do in this, either the battle system file, the player system, the player file, or the character file. All three of these, actually I think it's just player that will be available on the GitHub seen below the player. And the to-do, or at least the list of things that we'll have for next episode's to-do list, should also be listed as issues in the GitHub. And yeah, join us at the next stream. The next stream we've got here is 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 1 p.m. British Summertime. It's a GMT +0, so you should be able to adjust in either direction. If not, there's a little time zone calculator in the link there as well. Be able to see when each stream is calculated. There's a bit of a calendar of upcoming topics, so you can also see when it's not just game development. If we have anything else we have a few things that are in the field of C# and more than one game project as well, so you can hit it up and see what you'd expect to. And find me streaming on a daily basis. This was the Angry Albino.